we're back with the modern Initial D series, and it's been about, at the time of recording this, 2 weeks since I've released one of these videos from this series, and by the time this video comes out, it's going to be about 3. But, yeah. So this go around we have Kenta's S14 as the 350Z. So like I've been saying, like with the Silvias, the only real mid-tier sort of sports car that Nissan has now is the Z. It's like you get Z and then GTR, and yeah. So just kind of went with the Z, even though it feels like a weird modern comparison. It's kind of what it is. And yeah, let's get straight on into it. So first I'm gonna tell you guys the upgrades to put on, to tune, and I'm gonna tell you how to get it to look the way it does, and then we'll take it for a run down the mountain pass, plain and simple. So no engine swaps, stock rear wheel drive, stock naturally aspirated. I did not opt for the body kit. Moving to the aero pieces, I put the Nismo front end on it because when I did Kenji's 180, I also used the 350Z, and I went with the stock bumper, and I kind of wanted to differentiate the two cars. So I went ahead and put the Nismo front end, stock rear spoiler, no stock rear bumper, and the Nismo side skirts. Then semi-slick race tires, 255 millimeter front tires and 285 millimeters in the rear. Moving to the wheels. So for the wheels, I sort of tried to pick some that were similar but modern, because a lot of the cars, I made all the original cars 2 years ago, and the original cars from the show, and the wheels that were on those looked somewhat dated on the newer cars, so I kind of switched things up. So I went with the ADV1 ADV5S track spec CS wheels in the sport rim style, stock size front and back. Then for the rear track width, you want the maxed spacer, and then for the front you want the second one. You want that nice middle ground. Moving on to drivetrain, got race clutch, race transmission, race differential, race brakes, race suspension, race front anti-roll bars, race rear anti-roll bars, no roll cage, race weight reduction, then race intake. Ow, I feel like I just got bit by a mosquito or something. Race intake, race fuel system, race ignition, race exhaust, race cam, race pistons, race block, race valves, race oil and cooling, and finally race flywheel. Moving on over to the tune. For the tire pressure, you want 28 in the front, 30 in the rear. Gearing, 2.20 final drive, and I believe the rest of this just to be stock. I built these cars back in April, It's the middle of August. I have no idea if I altered the gearing or not. If I did and yours is different, go ahead and match it up. Like, pause the video, match it up, and then please continue watching after that. Then we have alignment for the camber, negative 1.0 in the front, negative 0.6 in the rear. For toe, positive 1.2 out in the front, negative 0.7 in the rear. Front caster angle of 5.7, anti-roll bars 25.5 in the front, 15.0 in the rear. Springs 476.6 in the front, 349.7 in the rear. Ride height 2.8 in the front, 3.5 in the rear. Damping for rebound 12.1 in the front, 11.3 in the rear. For bump 7.6 in the front, 7.1 in the rear. Aero, I mean, like, you shouldn't have it. Didn't tell you any aero options to where you would have this, but if you do, leave it stock. Braking 61% towards the front for balance, and then for pressure 72%. Finally, the differential 81% acceleration, 35% deceleration. Now, to get the car to look this way, I believe it's pretty simple, right? You just go with the stock manufacturer orange. Sorry, the guys always send me like the most stupid memes, like the worst times. I get a text, I'm like, oh, okay, let me see what this is. Stupid meme. Then for the wheels, go on down to special colors, and then just, for time's sake, I'm going to use the mouse, and you want, aluminum brushed. And of course tint the windows black. Then from there you want to come over here, you want to get a red sun sticker, and you just kind of want to put it like behind the door handle. I think I put it on the fender here and it just looked weird, so I kind of squeezed it in behind the door panel under this little back window thing. And I do have a share code if you want. Of course I can't view it, let me see. I tripped out for a second because I thought this was my design, because I did the same thing like a while back. I was like, when did that get there? It's most definitely not my design. Share code. I don't know the share code. Don't judge me on my username. It's like 9. Like 9 when I made that. So, looks like for the share code, it's 137-829-787. One more time. 137-829-787. That'll give you this. So now, what is in my eye? I got something in my eye. So we're gonna head on over to the mountain pass here. Gonna do a little downhill run. And to clarify, because for some reason I keep having to do this, it is not a drift car. The drift score is going to be low. These are mountain pass race cars with the capability of drifting. Plain and simple. So that's why my my score through the zone is probably going to be like 300, 400,000 if that. But let's run it. Let's run it. Oh wait, before we get going, for those of you who have been following the series, guess what I didn't do? A practice run. So pretty much, it's been ongoing at this point, that when I make these videos like this, not even just for this series, like in general, I build the cars like 3 months in advance. And then I don't touch them at all until the video's made like 3 months later. In this case, I made this car back in like March or April, and I'm in August. I haven't touched this car not a single time since then. And people are always, you should do a practice run, because it leads, me not doing it leads to mistakes in the video. And the audience says I should do a practice run, but I never do them. I just get on and hit record. So honestly, like, could I do them? Yeah. But at this point, it's just become an ongoing joke. Like a running joke at this point that I'm not doing practice runs. So it's like at this point, I'm just not doing them on purpose. So I guess luckily for me, this one's a pretty easy one to drive. Kind of have to e-brake for that hairpin. I always sort of screw up that hairpin. I kind of took it a little slow right there in this car, but it's pretty typical of me to screw up that hairpin. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I come like blasting down this straight like at 130, and I gotta just drop speed really fast to like 40 to take the hairpin. So yeah, I guess gonna just do some donuts. Some donuts. And with all that being said and done, well, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next one, and that is all from me today.